What's going on? What's going on, investors? Welcome back to Frunkla. So, it's been a while since we talked about Bionano Genomics. Let's talk about BNGO. We have new PR. We have few news out there about Bionano Genomics. We have the price action. We have what is going on with the economy, the macroeconomy. The war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine, energy prices, CPI data, inflation. We have all those things, and I would like to talk about those things in this video, okay, on this live stream. So if you guys are so right now I have zero concurrent viewers. The market is still open. The BNGO is down about -3% right now, trading around 1.61 1.62 US dollars. And Bionano Genomics has been stable for the past, I would say, for the past 2 weeks. BNGO has been stable. If you take a look at this small chart right here, you guys can already tell that we have been trading in this range for the past about 2 weeks now. This is the 13th of May last month. That's when we have been trading in this range. And if we break to the upside, you guys should expect a decent rally. But if we come down to the downside, then you should know that we are going to be retesting the most previous support. Okay. And I think Bionano Genomics share price has been relatively stable. Okay, because we have a lot of things going on right now, but still BNGO has more or less been in this range for the past 2 weeks. Instead of BNGO following the entire market down, it's not really following the market down anymore. It's just more or less trading in this range. If you take a look at Pac Bio, for example, guys, Pac Bio is going down heavily. Okay, Pac Bio right now is down minus 2.6% today. On Friday it was down about almost 10%, I believe, trading at 4.95 US dollars right now. And the market cap of Pac Bio is dropping very fast. Okay, this is a company that received almost $1 billion US dollars in investment last year. We saw that news about SoftBank putting some money into Pac Bio. That was last year, I believe. And even with the amount of cash that Pac Bio has on hand, the stock is not really performing very well. And Illumina is another. I think something is going on with sequencing stocks right now, guys. Illumina also has been going down, for a while now. Way more down than Bionano Genomics has been going. So what I'm trying to say is Bionano Genomics is relatively stable. Optical genome mapping, okay, because Pac Bio, Illumina, these guys are into sequencing technology. So in this video, I want to talk about there is a new company out there that is also causing some kind of volatility in the sequencing technology space that I believe is also affecting Pac Bio, Illumina, Oxford Nanopore, and so on and so forth. I also want to talk about that company because right now the stock is still private. There is a possibility that they are going to go public any moment from now, because they just raised about 600 million US dollars. So we are also going to talk about that company because they have a technology that can reduce, according to what they are saying. Okay, theoretically they promise that their technology, their device, can reduce sequencing to 100 US dollars. Okay, and if you guys recall correctly, Illumina has been promising 100 US dollars per analysis for a while now, but they have been unable to achieve that. Illumina right now, I think it costs about as little as it depends on what you want to analyze. Okay, and of course BNGO is the cheapest whenever it comes to genome analysis, and also very fast. Okay, so we are going to take a look at that company in this video. So right now, this is the price of BNGO. I mean, the market is still open. We have about 26 minutes before the market closes, so nothing really big is going on. I can just quickly show you the price action before we dive into the fundamental analysis of Bionano Genomics, because this week is a very busy week for Bionano Genomics fundamentally. Okay, forget about what is presently happening in the stock market right now. We already know that the stock market right now is full of negative news. Okay, we saw what happened on Friday, on Thursday, on Friday, and last week Tuesday. I made a video last weekend to inform you guys of what was going to happen, and that is of course what happened. I told you guys that if those data comes in and turns out to be negative, that the market was going to go down. And I also made a post to the subscriber of the channel. I think I made that post on Thursday or so, On Tuesday or so, I made that post and I informed you guys that the result that came in was good, but it's not as good as what market was expecting. We saw the markets going down, and then on Friday, the same thing when the latest data about about employment came in, it was also negative and drove everything down. But if you take a look at BNGO, more or less it has been stable. Okay, this is a range right here. BNGO has been stable in this range. I think the share price of BNGO is more or less waiting for a positive catalyst. I don't know what kind of catalyst investors are waiting for, but something is clear. They are not selling off heavily. They are holding on to their shares, and a lot of people are taking, they are using this they are taking, using this advantage of this, consolidation to add to their shares of BNGO, because I have a lot of friends, right now, okay, I have a lot of friends right now, adding to shares of their, their positions, adding to their positions. They right now sit on, over 25,000 shares of Bionano Genomics. So, that is that about that. Now, let's dive into some fundamental analysis of Bionano Genomics. We have several events going on right now. Okay, starting today, 6th of June. This one right now, for example, is June 8th. In the next 2 days, this one is the CCMG 2022 visual conference, where Bionano Genomics is going to be talking about, of course, this Dr. Adam Smith and Dr. Brian Levy and Dr. Lijia Huang, they are going to be talking about what they have been able to do with, Sapphire device, optical genome mapping, Bionano Genomics analysis, Canadian College of Medical Geneticists presentation featuring applications of OGM for genetic research. So, and you guys have to understand that Dr. Adam Smith, this guy is a very well-known person in the, genomic industry. This guy is well respected. And then we have another one, it's going to take place on the 11th of June till 14th of June. Okay, this is the ESHG 2022. Okay, whoever is who in the genomic sector needs to attend this event. Vienna, here we come, joined by Nano for a sponsored session on OGM at ESHG 2022 on Saturday, 11th June 2022, 11 blah 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 blah. So here we have Dr. Detlef Trust and Dr. Alexandra Ocean. You guys already know Dr. Alexandra. This is the guy that has experience, both in the sequencing technology sector and, optical genome mapping. So this guy knows what is going on in, Pac Bio, for example, and then what is going on in Bionano Genomics, Illumina, and so on and so forth. So these two guys are going to be, they are going to present new data, okay, and how OGM provides answers for rare undiagnosed genetic disease. And also, don't miss your chance to explore blah 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 blah. So this is the second event. This one is going to take place on Saturday. You guys can already tell BNGO, we have a lot of events presently going on with Bionano Genomics. And then we have this one right here, this is AGBT, and AGBT, we have Dr. Alka Shaube, the chief medical officer of Bionano Genomics. She's going to go to AGBT and she's going to be talking about the advantage of complementing OGM with NGS, or complementing NGS with OGM, pardon me, complementing next generation sequencing with optical genome mapping, the Sapphire device, of course. Okay, what researchers have been able to discover, what Bionano Genomics themselves have been able to discover with this, because we have the latest, we have biodiscovery, we acquire biodiscovery, we have NS clinical software, and this software, Bionano Genomics, after they acquired biodiscovery, they started to sell this software as NGS plus OGM. Before we acquired biodiscovery, we were talking about only optical genome mapping. Bionano Genomics is better than this, it can discover this, what NGS cannot discover, blah blah blah. But after we acquired biodiscovery, Bionano started to, now they are starting to sell optical genome mapping plus NGS, because the software can literally do both things. Okay, so Dr. Alkashabe is going to be going to AGBT, and she's going to be talking more with researchers, with those people that are going to adopt the Sapphire device. Because most of you guys may be wondering that, okay, what is the purpose of them going to all these events and talking about what OGM can do that NGS cannot do, or why OGM is complementary to NGS, blah blah blah. It is, of course, because of adoption. You want to attend this event where scientists, researchers are going to, so that you can tell them what they are missing, that you have the solution to their answer, you have answers to their questions. So that's more or less why they are going to this event. Now, if you take a look at this gold sponsor, okay, take a look at this. We have only one good sponsor, okay. We have Resolve Biosciences, and then we have silver sponsors, and then we have Ultima Genomics. Guys, this company right here is making wave. Okay, this is the hottest topic right now in genomics. Ultima Genomics. This is the company I'm telling you guys about, that I believe is Bionano Genomics is not the only headache for Pac Bio anymore or Illumina. This company right here, Ultima Genomics, is making wave. They just received about 600 million US dollars, okay, in funding, and they are going after all this sequencing technology out there. They promise to reduce the price of sequencing to 100 US dollars. Nobody really know if that is going to be possible or not, but that's what they are promising. And right now, I believe they are making wave right now in the genomic sector. So I'm still going to talk about this in the next page. Now, if you take a look at this, we have also Bionano Genomics as bronze sponsor. Okay, right here we have Pac Bio, we have Agilate, we have this. I think we have Illumina somewhere. So okay, contributing sponsors Illumina. So Illumina is not really a bronze sponsor. We have Pac Bio and Bionano as bronze sponsor, and then we have silver sponsors Ultima Genomics. Now let me tell you guys about Ultima Genomics, because this is very, very interesting, and this is one company that I am going to be paying attention to closely. Of course, we always, from time to time, we always see new companies come in and promise to reduce sequencing cost to 100 US dollars, or coming in and promising that they have the best technology out there to sequence genomes faster, with higher throughput, and so on and so forth. And then at the end of the day, they come out with their device, and then the device is not doing as they promised theoretically. So this is another company that is making wave out there, Ultima Genomics, and they promise to have answers to what Illumina is unable to do in Pac Bio. Look at this. Ultima Genomics burst onto NGS scene, targeting the $100 genome. And this right here, I believe, is one of the reasons why ARK Invest, for example, Cathy Wood, she spoke about it, that one of the reasons why they dumped Illumina was Illumina promised to reduce the price of analyzing sequencing DNA to 100 US dollars, but Illumina still is unable to do that. I believe Illumina is somewhere around 300 US dollars or so right now. So now this is another company. You may want to pay attention to this company as well. If they go public, there is a chance this is going to be a very good company. Okay, there is a very good chance. Now if you go down a little bit, so the author are from Ultima Genomics, a 350% company with a stealth mode, kept tight enough to leave, and even NGS insiders guessing. Look at that. NGS insiders are guessing what is going on with this company. All of a sudden just appeared from nowhere. Within 24 hours after posting the preprint, Ultima had emerged out of stealth with a claim that could not be missed. The 100 US dollars genome has arrived. Okay, this is what they are promising. And if nobody knows, okay, if they come out and then they are able to if they come out with a device that can sequence a DNA, and then it costs about 100 US dollars, I think they are going to kill the likes of Pac Bio and Illumina. Okay, I mean, this is something huge. Now look at this. Layer in almost 600 million US dollars in fundraising. The curiosity had turned into news. Now they just received 600 million US dollars in funding, and that is of course why they are now hot topic in the genomic sector, in the sequencing sector to be precise. Ultima's reads are longer than typical short reads, and while long reads are gaining prominence in the field, it remains unclear how much of an improvement 300 base pair is over 100 BP. And then we have Elements Bioscience, we have Pacific Bioscience, and Oxford Nanopore. This right now, I believe they are having a sleepless night because of this Ultima, this company that's just appeared from nowhere. Now if you go down further, they spoke about the 20-hour turnaround time is fast. The next sec takes roughly 48 hours. This one is from Illumina. Next sec, okay, it takes roughly 48 hours to sequence a DNA. Now they are promising 20-hour turnaround time. That is very fast, guys. And then if you go further, one place where they have differentiated from others is in price, claiming a dollar per GB price tag. For comparison, Illumina's next sec is $20 per GB, and Element Aviti is $5 per GB. So you guys can see why this company is making wave. You might want to pay attention to this, and it goes on preliminary data, blah blah blah. It goes on and on. So this is a company that I'm going to be watching. Ultima Genomics, guys. I mean, this is still a private company, it's not yet public, so we'll see what's gonna happen. Now let's talk about Bionano Genomics, because we have a good news from Pekin Elma. Okay, Pekin Elma Genomics. If you guys recall, correctly, I've made several videos about Pekin Elma and how they are using the Sapphire device, okay, for FSHD1 and I believe FSHD2 as well. Okay, they have more or less retired their fish, okay, FISH. Right now they are using Bionano Genomics Sapphire for FSHD. Okay, they developed back in 2019. Pekin Elma Genomics is the first genomic laboratory or company to be piloting the Sapphire device to develop an assay based on Bionano Genomics Sapphire device. Now this is old news. Now let's go back, let's quickly fast forward and go to the latest news. This one right here was shared by Cisco Investor. Shout out to Cisco. So this is the latest from Pekin Elma right here. You guys can see molecular diagnosis of facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy FSHD using optical genome mapping. Okay, optical genome mapping. This is good for Bionano Genomics. It means more revenue for BNGO, and it means the mission of Bionano Genomics to more or less retire or complement, okay, all this old method or traditional method of analyzing genomes for rare genetic disease, for FSHD, for example. This dream is coming true. Okay, Pekin Elma, for example, has retired their old method of analyzing FSHD1. Right now, BNGO has taken over fully, I believe. Okay, so you guys can see right here, we have FSHD type 1, FSHD type 2, and you can see haplotype DZ4, D4, Z4, and so on and so on. These are some of their results. I already made a video about this a couple of months ago, like 3 months ago, but this is their latest post about this. Now a little background on facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy FSHD. This disease is more or less something that I don't know if I can find some picture of. Let me quickly see if I can find some, for those of you that have no idea what kind of disease this is. This is a very, very horrible and rare genetic disease. I'm going to see if I can quickly find a picture of facioscapulohumeral dystrophy and show you guys. So this more or less what it looks like. Okay, FSHD looks more or less like this. As you guys can see, it looks more or less like this. So it's some kind of horrible rare genetic disease, and it's somehow always difficult to analyze this thing. So thanks to Bionano Genomics, now researchers can understand more about this disease, and hopefully one day, I don't know if they have already figured out some kind of treatment or cure for this, I don't know. But the purpose of BNGO right here is to help researchers to understand how this disease developed. For example, what is going on in the genome of patients that are suffering from this rare genetic disease, and so on and so forth. So now BNGO has taken over, and this of course means more revenue for Bionano Genomics. Okay, more revenue for BNGO. So that is FSHD. Now if you go down a little bit, you can see Bionano Plus NGS identifies FSHD 1 and 2. So this more or less an example of a laboratory out there that is presently using the Sapphire device, okay, alongside NGS device. I don't know if this is Pac Bio or if this is Illumina or if this is 10S Genomics or Oxford Nanopore. It's not written. I'm still going to see if I can find anything. Maybe they spoke about the device, the second device that they are using for NGS, but definitely this is Bionano Genomics complementing NGS technology. A perfect example of why Bionano Genomics right now is more or less advertising. They are selling the OGM, the Sapphire device, as a complement to NGS, because a lot of laboratories have already adopted the NGS. And Illumina, for example, is being they have their devices installed in over 5,000 laboratories, for example. So it's not going to be easy for Bionano Genomics to just go out there and tell them that we are the best, get rid of all these your old devices or from Illumina, blah blah blah. So it makes sense that right now they are just going out there, letting researchers to understand that there are some things that NGS is unable to discover, that only OGM is able to discover it. And there are some things that both technologies can discover, but OGM Sapphire device is faster than NGS Sapphire devices. So the methods: we perform whole genome optical mapping using Bionano Genomics Sapphire device with subsequent analysis by Bionano and Focus. This is the name of the software, and Focus FSHD analysis software, and to identify FSHD haplotype and D4Z4 repeat number. And then, so that is that about that. Bionano single molecule mapping. You guys can see the sample of Bionano Genomics right here. So the good news is, okay, let me quickly go through the conclusion for you guys. I mean, this is amazing. Check out this conclusion, okay? Look at this conclusion. Southern blotting is gold standard method in the, okay, so Southern blotting is what they are replacing with Bionano Genomics Sapphire device, not FISH. Southern blotting is gold standard method in the diagnosis of FSHD. However, it is labor intensive, time consuming, radioactive method, and needs a large quantity of high quality DNA. Our results demonstrate that whole genome optical mapping offers a promising alternative method for FSHD1 diagnosis that is less time consuming and more accurate in estimating. I think they meant to write estimating here. Estimate the number of D4Z4 units than the conventional Southern blotting technique. Optical mapping could not detect rearrangement between 4q35 and 10q26 D4Z4 repeats. Combined with next generation sequencing NGS technology to detect the sequence and copy number variants in SMCHD1 or DNMT3B and genes associated with neuromuscular disorders, comprehensive neuromuscular disorders testing, including FSHD, can be an option for providers to test patients with undiagnosed neuromuscular diseases. So that is the good news. They are retiring Southern blot, the gold days. It used to be said to be the gold standard. So BNGO has more or less wiped out Southern blot, guys. I mean, that is amazing. Southern blot, BNGO has replaced Southern blot, and Pekenema is one of the laboratories out there presently using Bionano Genomics, combining it with next generation sequencing. Now, this is another news that I would love to share with you guys. Okay, this one is about nucleic acids research. Okay, this one is from Dr. Where is his name? Yuben. I hope I found. Okay, Dr. Yuval Ebenstein. That is his name. This one is from, and this right here are the teams that are presently using Bionano Genomics. So the thing is, they have developed a method, okay, a kind of special method for analyzing DNA methylation. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, DNA methylation is a very complicated topic. Okay, DNA methylation. This is a very complicated topic, and only experts can dive deeply into this topic. But I tried my best to highlight some important parts. I'm not a scientist or anything. I tried my best to highlight some important parts so that you guys can understand it and understand that optical genome mapping is going to places. Researchers are presently going crazy about this technology. Forget about what is going on in with the stock market right now. Forget about this inflation. Inflation is gonna go away at one point in time. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, nobody knows. But the good news is BNGO fundamentally is still going strong. Even though I'm not coming here every day to make 1 million videos every day like I used to, because the market is more or less red at the moment, and we don't have all these fundamental news as often as you guys would love it. Would love us to be having it. Still, BNGO researchers are discovering new things. They are developing new assays. They are developing new methods for analyzing, genomes. Faster method that is going to, news. Just mention it. Now, this is another example. This one was released on the 3rd of June 2022. Okay, by Dr. Yuval Ebenstein and his team, and then they have successfully developed a method, okay, for analyzing genomes for DNA methylation. Blah blah blah. Now, I highlighted some very short places so that you guys can at least understand it. And of course, a link has already been put, in the description of this video. If you want to learn more, just go to the link and go through it. This, like, I don't know how many, this is not even the, if you want to go through the PDF file, the PDF file is right here. You can just click on it and then, go through it. I think it's about 25 pages or so. I went through everything and yeah. All right, so let me just quickly summarize it for you guys so that you can at least understand what is going on here. So for example, they said in this under the abstract, they said here we developed a chemoenzymatic procedure to fluorescently label non-methylated cytosines in CpG context, okay, allowing epigenetic profiling of single DNA molecules spanning hundreds of thousands of base pairs. So that's more or less what it's all about. They have developed a kind of method, okay, a method that doesn't exist before. Now, what they found is that they found that labeling efficiency was increased up to twofold by the addition of a nucleosidase. God, I hope I'm not gonna lose my teeth on this channel. Now, if you go down further under the introduction, they spoke about what DNA methylation is. It's an epigenetic mark that plays a major regulatory role in transcription, gene regulation, and just think about DNA methylation like an on and off button. Okay, if you turn it on, for example, maybe the eye is going to be green. If you turn it off, the whatever gene that is affecting the color of the eye is going to, you can turn it on and off, for example. So that's more or less what DNA methylation, like a very short description of it. It's more or less a way to regulate, what's going on in DNA. Now, if you take a look at this, they said short read sequencing also had several drawbacks, and mainly the limitation in characterizing large variable and repetitive regions, as well as population averaging of the data, which masks cell to cell variation. Single cell bisulfite sequencing may profile individual metallomas, but is still limited in characterizing large variable and repetitive regions. So more or less what they are more or less telling you, that short read sequencing is unable to do whatever it is that they are right now doing with their new method, okay. And that's of course why they chose optical genome mapping. Now, if you take a look at this also, they said third generation sequencing approaches, including single nucleotide molecule real-time SMRT sequencing from Pacific Bioscience of California, of course, and nanopore sequencing, Oxford Nanopore Technologies Limited, are able to detect methylated cytosines directly. However, whole metallome analysis on these platforms is still challenging and costly, okay. And that is of course one of the reasons why they chose Bionano Genomics, okay, optical genome mapping. Now they end it with whole genome epigenetic profiling by optical mapping, genome mapping. Bionano Genomics is a new addition to the epigenetic mapping toolbox. This technology is based on stretching long genomic DNA fragments for optical mapping. That's more or less how Bionano Genomics work. Now our group developed reduced representation optical methylation mapping. Now they just coined a new name. They call it ROM, optical methylation mapping, based on Sapphire device, based on Bionano Genomics. And you guys can see some samples of, it goes more deep into the technical part of it. Since I'm not a scientist, I'm going to skip that part. And then material and methods they used, plants. And let me see if I highlighted some other part of this optical genome mapping and analysis, blah 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 blah, comparison of optical methylation mapping to bisulfite sequencing. So bisulfite sequencing, I believe, is the old method of or sequencing method from Pacific Bioscience of California, for example, Oxford Nanopore, and then they developed their own method, okay. They call it ROM, okay. Now if you go further, analysis of CpG methylation, blah blah blah. So they also spoke about version 1.5.5 Bionano Genomics. So the results and then global methylation. So right here you have the figure where they spoke about 20 kbp 20 kbp. This is the sample of DNA from LD donor, DNA from CLL donor. This one is from somebody suffering from cancer, leukemia, I believe. And then we have relative intensity, LCLL. Now let me see if I still have some highlighted place in the conclusion. This is a very technical topic, guys. I think that is it. Let's just leave it like that. So anyway, Dr. Yuval Ebenstein, and his team, they have developed a method for analyzing DNA, methylation using optical genome mapping, Bionano Genomics Sapphire device, and that is, of course, one of the beautiful news that I just shared with you guys. Okay, now I think the market has closed. It's 10 p.m. in Germany right now. The market has closed. BNG is down -3%. Okay, but if we want to take a look at the stock market map, okay, stock market map, let's see how the stock market performs today so that we can end this live stream. I don't want to waste your time. I think this video is already about 30 minutes long. So this is what happened today. Okay, Amazon today, we saw that Amazon stock split 20 to 1, and Amazon closed at 124 US dollars. It used to be about 2,000 something US dollars. Amazon closed green today. Tesla is more or less, a mess right now because of, Elon Musk tweeting non-stop. Bionano Genomics. And all right, guys. So I think that is it. That is it. The stock market performance today, it's more or less mixed. Today is not really as horrible as what happened on Friday. And Bionano Genomics is, I think, it's yet to close green for June, but in May we closed green. Okay, this more or less 1 month performance, what's going on already in this month. And Illumina, for example, look at that. Illumina is down in this month -24%, guys, -24%. And Pac Bio is even, Pac Bio is down -30% in June alone, -30%, guys. And meanwhile, Bionano Genomics is down just -10% in this month alone. So I think that's where we're going to end this video. If you guys have shout out to all the new channel members, thank you so much. I'm going to be, of course, sharing every day. I'm going to be sharing, technical analysis, post with you guys. If there is anything about the market, we still have CPI data coming in, like I already spoke about during my video last week. I told you guys about some things that you should be expecting in June, and so far we have seen that two data came in bad. Okay, that's of course why the market is more or less volatile still, and only energy stocks right now are going higher because Europe have finally announced that they are going to stop buying Russian oil and so on and so forth. So I mean, natural gas is going crazy. That's of course affecting inflation. We still need to find solution to all this energy prices, guys. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. So we still have CPI data coming in. I think it's on the 11th or on the 12th of this month, but I'm still going to make a separate video about that and speak about it, what you guys should expect. Because if the CPI data, the last reading last month was about 8.3%, so hopefully we are going to see something lower, okay, for May. Hopefully we are going to get maybe 8 or 7.9, then it's going to be good. But if we get 8.3 once again or higher than 8.3, then the stock market is going to go crazy. Okay, I mean, that's just what is happening in 2022. We have to focus on all this data, all this inflation data. We have to focus on more or less fundamental analysis, and those are the things that are presently moving the market. Hopefully China is not going to go crazy and attack Taiwan. All this kind of crazy news are presently driving the market crazy. But on a normal good day, if the stock market turns positive, if all this negative news subdues a little bit, and we start to see some good data coming in, then I believe the likes of Bionano Genomics is going to outperform. Okay, I keep saying this. I believe BNG is going to outperform. If you take a look at what has been going on so far, BNG, for example, outperformed several large cap stocks last month. But if you go to the sequencing technology sector, they are underperforming. Pac Bio down, Illumina down. If you go to year to date, for example, year to date, Illumina is down -38% year to date, and Pac Bio, for example, let's see Pac Bio year to date. Pac Bio is down -75% year to date. God, -75%. That is insane, guys. BNG is down -44% year to date. Pac Bio, I don't get it. Anyway, so if the positive data keeps coming in, I believe small cap stocks are going to keep outperforming large cap stocks. Okay, the likes of Microsoft, Apple, Google, I mean, I expect them to underperform once those positive news starts to come in. So I think that is it, guys. On F Joe Biden, yeah, the economy is going crazy, guys. I mean, inflation is driving everything crazy. Hello Richard, Hello, land where S Joe is so difficult to pronounce your name. Hello, everybody. Shashiko, what's up, bro? Joseph, hello. Minerva, hello, everybody. If you guys have any question, I'm just going to hang in like 1 more minute or 2 minutes. If you guys have any question, the stock market is, more or less in a consolidation territory right now, guys. I mean, it's absolutely crazy what is going on. BNG today closed to red, but it's more or less not really, I mean, we are more or less at the same place, where we have been for the past 2 weeks or so. Nothing massive is, going on. This the share price of BNG is more or less, consolidating, and nobody knows when this consolidation is going to, end. Nobody knows when we are finally going to break out either to the upside or come back down. But in my opinion, I think we should break to the upside, okay? Because most of all this negative news, in my opinion, have been baked into the stock market. So let's see what's gonna happen. We still have the presidential election coming in, and I don't think all these politicians in USA want the stock markets to be completely trash, because nobody's gonna go out there and vote for them. I'm not gonna go and vote for somebody if my portfolio is completely they have to be very careful, guys. They have to be very careful. That's still another good thing about going forward, another positive news. Okay, we still have the presidential governorship election, senatorial election, and so on and so forth. And today these are more or less the trending tickers today. Amazon, Didi today, jumped almost 50% at one point, and then Twitter, Elon Musk news going on. Alibaba, Chinese stocks are more or less outperforming right now. On short term, they are outperforming the US stocks. So that is that about that. All right, guys. So let's end it here. I remember your boy Dayo. This is Frunkla.